Hello everybody and welcome to Rust. Hell yeah, we're gonna play some Rust. If you don't know anything about it, it's a harsh base building survival kill or be killed type game. And it's a lot of fun and it's super exciting, and it's also pretty unique in the experience that it delivers, and it should be something that always has a unique unfolding depending on the server and the players that you run into and all that good stuff. So the first thing I want to do before we jump in is take a look at the settings and just kind of go over what I've discovered working with this game, especially if you want to do some content creation. One of the things that I tried to do is to set this up so that the fidelity was as high as possible, but still delivering, you know, a good watching experience. And I'm going to be one of the people that, you know, I'm not a Rust player. I like to play games. Rust is a game, therefore I like to play Rust. But I'm not a Rust player, so I like to run with the visuals way higher than most people do, you know, which is probably disadvantageous to me, but I don't care because I think it looks better. But there's a couple of caveats with this game in particular that make it a little bit challenging to record. So we'll get into those in a second. But anyway, that was a tangent because we haven't even gotten to that part yet. But whatever. So field of view, always want it to 90 because you can see as much as you possibly can. If you can't stomach it, too bad. Set it to it anyway. Get over it. I promise it's worth it. Set it to underwear. You know, that's for your benefit and mine. User interface, you can set it how you like. Audio, you can set it how you like. Controls, you can set them how you like. I haven't really messed with any of these things. Screen, so we actually need to limit this to 60 so that the GPU isn't like dying the whole time. So we're gonna go ahead and set that, and that has changed the FPS, the max FPS. All right, so these are the two main settings that I had troubles with. So, well, actually this one too. So when I was recording this, I noticed that the two main problems that I had to maintain good FPS was, number one, the shadows when you have a torch or a campfire, they just dominate my FPS. So by turning shadow quality down to 1 and turning shadow cascades down to 2 instead of 4, I was able to mitigate most of that without sacrificing really any visual quality. In fact, I would argue that shadow quality looks better on 1 than 3 because it's much less blurry for like certain shadows. I don't know. I'll try to point it out in the video, but it's quite interesting. Shadow quality 3 is like Vaseline on the ground. Shadow quality 1 actually looks pretty good in certain cases, but it's still not great. And then parallax mapping I set to 1 because there was a weird issue with the texture on like a ground texture, especially on the beach where things wouldn't be lining up correctly. It looked like, you know, there was a texture seam running down my screen, but it also moved with the screen, so it was like a rolling seam. It was very strange. Anyway, setting this to 1 fixed it. It has to do with the way that the background is overlaid. Parallax is a term that's been used for a long time in like old school like 2D games. It gave the effect of 3D by having backgrounds, you know, at different kind of viewing distances from the screen. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'm sure there's a video on YouTube that covers it. Image effects, turn off depth of field, turn off lens start, turn off motion blur, turn off sharpen, and turn off vignetting. Those are just my personal things. I definitely like all the other 3 things. Lens start, I guess you could leave on. Yeah, it's not a movie, right? Sharpen, I never really liked that. Vignetting, that's more of like a photo mode thing to me. All this stuff I left off. So that's pretty much all there is to it. Now, the server that we're going to play on right now is just this Rustified server, just to get our feet wet and see what happens. I've actually already been here. I might spawn in with some stuff, might not, but I don't have a base or anything. One of my buddies, we're definitely going to play this with him when he's available. He's quite good at Rust. He's a lot better than I am, has a lot more hours, a lot more experience. I have like no hours, so this is going to be embarrassing. We're going to play on this server. So I'm pretty excited about that when we get to do that. But for today, we're going to just take a look at this lower pop server, which is got 100 people in it. So it's not terrible. Hopefully this is enjoyable to everybody. Thanks for joining in. And once this loads, we'll get started. I've spent a large amount of time trying to get these settings right so that we don't have any frame drops. We're probably going to have some in the menus because it just likes to use all my GPU in the menus for some reason. Rust is a weird game, but I think that that'll be the only time when it's having an issue is in the menus. We might have to turn particles down if we get into a firefight, but I haven't been in one yet, so I can't even tell you if that's going to be important. And it looks like, yeah, we definitely got looted because we were just, you know, laying right here. So that's pretty much to be expected, and we're starving. So we didn't have anything though. We're just gonna do that. F1. I like how it's an F key. Alright, so here we are in Rust. This is where you start. You start on the beach, you got a rock and a torch. I'm not really gonna explain how to play this. I'm just gonna play it and let you figure out what happens. And we should probably see some kind of funny stuff. If oh, now that is what I'm talking about. But we want to appear as a naked to everybody else. So we're just gonna run around with a rock, even though we have that sword. That sword is absolutely trash, I think, for anything other than smashing barrels. So I don't think that it's like a super big deal if we have it out. But you know, it's just that little bit more temptation for another player to kill us, which is not really what we want. I mean, you know. So I think we're gonna just head over here. I think this is somebody's base. I have no idea. No, this is a vending machine or something. So we look at the map. I think the first place to hit would be some sort of like gas station or something, which I don't see. Oh, there it is. So let's do that. So let's head up to this area, and we'll see what happens. I think I'm just gonna cut across the water here. Oh, it's a deer. It's a nice rack on that deer. Don't have anything to kill it yet, so we're gonna let that one go. Metal node up there, but we don't need it yet. So I guess the question is, what do we need? So we need cloth, and we need wood, and we need stone. And that's everything to make a bow and arrow. And then after that, I think a little base building is in order, if we even get that far. So we'll see what happens. And we're probably just going to build a 2x2 base, although that's... Well, that shouldn't be too bad. It's just mainly stone, and then we'll need to get some metal fragments for maybe 2 or 3 doors. And the reason you want to do that is because, or maybe 2 doors, I can't remember. What you want to do is basically make it the same durability to break in any way that you go in. Because typically doors are weaker than, well, not typically, always doors are weaker than walls of the same variety. So like a metal door is weaker than a metal wall. I think 2 metal doors is about the same as 1 stone wall, if I recall correctly. I mean, we could cannibalize something if we can't. Well, I don't know if you can with the tool cabinet. I don't really know how that works. We always want to get the mushrooms. Because the hunger in this game can be a real pain in the butt, you know? It's a real pain if you don't have any food, because then you can't find any. And then you're just walking around with a bloody screen and nobody's happy. Now we could steal the horse. It may not be anybody's horse, it may just be here. But do we need the horse? Probably not. Okay, so we are going the wrong way and going into junkyard. Free. There's nothing in there. Free nothing. I was really expecting that to blow up when I opened it, honestly. I don't even know that's a thing. I know that trap bases are a thing. I don't know how they work. I'm definitely gonna fall for a trap base or two. Mark my words. But yeah. I'm just glad that I didn't die right there. What a way to go that would have been. I do like the fact that they've added the look while running feature. That okay, we don't want the Geiger counter to go off. The look while running feature is... I wish more FPS games would adopt that. Any open world game like this where you need to check your corners at all times needs that feature. That's like a number one. Like, you know, the lean, the double cup, you know, that's fine. You know, Q and E lean, but the run, I mean, the run while looking, yes. Well, I guess that kind of works. The run while looking or the look while running, whichever way, pretty clutch. And I forget to use it most of the times. There's a swamp over there. Oh, that's the bandit camp. I don't think there's any reason to go in here. It would be kind of nice to settle close to the bandit camp. Let's try to make it up the mountain. I'm feeling lucky. This is like... Oh, we should have gotten the horse and done it Skyrim style. What was it? Shadowbane or Shadowmere? Whichever one was the Dark... Was it the Dark Brotherhood, I think? No, it was the Assassin's Guild. Whatever that was called.
5 minutes later.
It's nice out here. It's good weather. Just stop in the middle of what I'm doing, out in the open, and eat in the middle of the open. I cannot believe we have made it this far. And now I have jinxed us. There's just no cloth to speak of at all. I don't see anybody. Oh, yeah, I see the guy. I see him coming in. I do have the sword. Maybe I don't. Let's be sneaky about this. On guard! And that's the way she goes. Well, that's one death, everybody. And with that, I think that was a pretty terrible intro to Rust. Just listen to the sounds of the neighborhoods, the soothing sounds of Oxum's gas station. Now, what did we do wrong there? Well, we went in there knowing that there were people there with no weapon except a sword. Which was all just a terrible idea, but that was our first foray into Rust. Thanks for joining. It's been fun.